Taxes will consume your retirement savings. Those of us who have saved the most are the best customers for Uncle Sam. Taxes will be the single biggest factor that separates people from their retirement dreams, just the way it is. But this is still, all of this is still under your control. Your retirement money will be taxed at some rate in the future, probably much higher, just when you need the money the most, when you're not working and you're the most vulnerable. And when it does get taxed, it will be taxed at the highest rates in the land. And given the sorry state of our country's finances, taxes will have to be higher in the future. So, what if I offered you a way to control your future tax bills so that you'll have the retirement of your dreams instead of retirement nightmares? You need to rescue your retirement savings by moving them from accounts that are forever taxed to accounts that are never taxed. Sound familiar? Yes. I've been saying that for years. I said about 10 times here. But now it's more important than ever because taxes will soon rise to the point that they can limit or even eliminate some of the best options. I want you to visualize your retirement account. You see it? Well, now look under the hood. Your retirement savings are infested with taxes. You need an exterminator. They're a sitting duck for taxes. There are trillions of dollars in retirement accounts, and they're easy prey for the government. The government loves to tax things that are easy to get at. We can't move these accounts out of the country like the big companies do and not pay tax. We're not going to get any special breaks, deals, or bailouts from Congress like the big banks do. Our retirement savings are the low-hanging fruit just waiting to be picked. So what can you do now? You're going to love this. Pay taxes. What? What kind of show is this? Anybody can pay more taxes. That's right, anybody can, but most people don't, and they lose lots more later because they don't look at the long-term big picture. There are ways to start moving your taxable money to tax-free territory, from forever tax to never tax, consistently moving your retirement money and other taxable money to what I call the safety zone, a tax-free reserve fund, your bailout fund. The more you pile up in your safety zone, the more tax-free money you'll build, and the less you'll be affected by tax risk and the uncertainty of what future taxes could do to your retirement savings. Convert your IRA to a Roth IRA and start building a tax-free retirement. Yes, that means paying taxes now, but at a much lower tax rate and at a lower overall tax, since the tax will be paid on a lower balance, today's balance, which you know. At least you know the menu price. You know exactly how much it'll cost today. That's one less thing to worry about. Roth IRAs remove the uncertainty of what future taxes could do to your retirement income. That's the best way to get Uncle Sam out of your retirement savings for good. And remember, he's not even your real uncle. You know that, right? You need to take advantage of the tax code now. The Roth IRA is one of the best ways to build a lifetime of tax-free savings. We had a client who was a school teacher who built up $500,000 in his retirement account from contributing for over 30 years. He took my advice and converted those funds to a Roth IRA as soon as he could. And lots of his teacher buddies told him, "You're crazy to pay the taxes up front to convert for a Roth." They weren't falling for that one. Well, that was over 12 years ago. Now, that Roth IRA has grown to almost $2 million. Wow. All tax-free. Wow. He's pretty happy now. If that growth remained in his IRA, he'd be looking at one heck of a tax bill now, or even higher future tax rates if he withdrew later. He supercharged his Roth IRA with the same information I'm sharing with you. This is riddled with curveballs, and you have to know what you're doing. You must do it right. But once you have all the pieces, you can be a happy, tax-free retiree like my school teacher. You simply need the instruction guide and the tools to get it done right. It's much easier than putting that furniture together, and your plan will last much, much longer. At some point in the future, when you or your heirs begin to withdraw this tax-free money, you'll be very happy that you won't ever have to worry about taxes because you paid for that up front and at bargain prices. And with a Roth IRA, you'll never be forced to withdraw money and pay taxes after reaching age 70 and a half, like you would with a traditional IRA or a 401k. You can keep it growing tax-free for the rest of your life without ever being forced to withdraw one dime of it. That's not only tax-free, but tax freedom. I've been advising people to do this for years, and you're not going to believe it, but some people actually took my advice. Can you believe it? You know why I say that? Most people do the opposite of what you tell them. They don't like to listen. For example, let's go back to the restaurant. The waitress brings you your plate and says, "Don't touch it, it's hot." What are you going to do? You got to touch it because you have to know her. She might be a liar. What if she is and you didn't know it? Anyway, back to Roth IRAs. Some people actually did listen to me, and now they're sitting pretty, building tax-free money every day. I love when clients come and see me who did Roth IRAs, you know, the ones who listen, who didn't touch the plate. They don't even remember paying the tax anymore. That's in the past. Now they only focus on the good things, positive things. They are in control, not the tax man. Wouldn't you like to be in this position? Never having to worry about taxes or mandatory withdrawal rules for your retirement income? So what's the downside? You have to pay taxes now. Big deal. When people ask you your tax rate on your retirement income, how great will it feel to say 0%? That's the downside, a 0% tax rate in retirement for paying tax at historically low bargain basement rates now. I've also had clients that didn't convert. Not everybody listens. These are the ones that had to touch the plate. Now they complain even when they make money in their IRA. How crazy is that? Imagine that, worrying, you got enough things to worry about. Imagine worrying your account balance is going up because of taxes. They complain every time they make money in their IRA because they know that eventually they will have to share it with IRS. And they have no idea how high taxes will be when they do. Those menu prices haven't been printed yet. But as you know, in any restaurant, they never reprint menus because the prices went down. When you see new menus, it's because prices went up. That's not what you want to look forward to in retirement. More taxes means that you keep less when you need it the most. What kind of plan is that? It's a plan for disaster. Roth IRAs can help create tax-free money when you need it the most in retirement. You're going to love not worrying about taxes ever. That's a great rescue plan. Let's switch gears to another way to eliminate huge taxes: life insurance. Just so you know, I say it on every program, I do not sell life insurance. I don't sell stocks, bonds, funds, annuities. I'm a tax advisor and an educator. And as a tax advisor, I'm advising you to take advantage of the single biggest benefit in the tax code, and that is the tax exemption for life insurance. You've heard me talk about the incredible leverage and tax-free benefits of life insurance, mainly for your heirs. And that payoff is big. You turn relatively small amounts of taxable money into a tax-free windfall for your family. They'll end up with millions more than you ever had, all tax-free. It's truly the best tax leverage available under the tax code, but it's actually better than you think, especially if you're thinking, what's in it for me? Anyone thinking that? In these volatile and uncertain times, you need to focus on investments that give you control, options, flexibility, and certainty. And you want to remove both stock market risk and tax risk. And you want a guarantee. And you want it all tax-free. That's a tall order. But you can get all of that with certain kinds of permanent life insurance. Most people think of life insurance as something that pays off after you're dead. That's true. But what if I told you that you could have tax-free access to your life insurance during your lifetime, so you could use it for yourself? You could begin moving large amounts of money from taxable accounts into a tax-free permanent life insurance policy. The money grows tax-free inside the policy. It's harder than ever today to make money on your investments. So the last thing you want to do is share any of your hard-earned gains with the government. You don't have to if those gains are earned within a life insurance policy. If your money's going to grow, it may as well grow tax-free, right? You need to realize that life insurance is an investment, but it's better than your typical investment accounts because it's tax-free. Oh, and one more thing. Life insurance comes with something else that you can never get from the stock market, a guarantee. But how much can you invest? Well, that's up to you and the tax rules. Believe it or not, this is an area where you might want to invest the maximum you can into the policy. If you're approaching retirement or already retired and looking to shelter more of your taxable money into a tax-free vehicle, this might be the place for you. But the mistake most people make at this stage of life is trying to pay the least for the policy. So you might be thinking, how can paying less be a mistake? Everybody wants a good deal because this is an investment, not an expense. If you were saving money in a bank account, would you want to put in the most or the least? Of course you want to put in the most because this is your savings. You should look at permanent life insurance the same way, except that the investment is tax-free. So why would you keep money growing in a taxable account when it can be transferred to a tax-free investment? If you have taxable IRA funds, you can, in effect, convert your IRA to life insurance, paying tax now at low rates on distributions from your IRA and then using that money to fund your life insurance investment. That accomplishes two things. You reduce your future tax exposure in your IRA by taking distributions now, and you build up a tax-free source of retirement funds should you need them. If it turns out that you don't need to tap into your life insurance for retirement income, then the life insurance benefit builds for your family. Also income tax-free, and for most people, it'll be estate tax-free too, depending on the estate tax exemption level. This is truly the best leverage available, and it's all under your control. Once again, I do not sell life insurance, but as a tax advisor, I gotta tell you that the tax exemption for life insurance is the single biggest benefit in the tax code. Make it a part of your retirement savings plan and your estate plan. But remember, this area of your life is a little tricky. You must do it the right way to receive all the benefits I'm telling you about. Now is the time to create a plan to rescue your retirement and move your money from accounts that are forever taxed to accounts that are never taxed. It's the taxes. You know, these two moves alone, Roth IRAs and life insurance, can single-handedly remove most of the taxes you or your beneficiaries will ever have to pay.